It is the 16th of November, 2023. This is WIKISPEED Standup. It's just me again. Lauren is in a different country and probably isn't going to join at what sounds like 2 a.m. local time. It is Michael Wolchuk from Saskatoon. Last week I posted Standup. The knitting machine and the Polaris dashboard projects. I got the readmes written up and posted. For the pump runtime monitor, which was a new project as of last week, I got 2 power supplies out of my junk drawer and wired them into extension cords, I guess the female part of the extension cord, with the other end cut off. I wired them into the terminals. One powers the ESP32 and one monitors the level switch from the tank. I assembled it and tested it inside the house, added a plastic housing outside so that the Wi-Fi signal works, and then installed it, and it worked for about an hour. I successfully got messages on Telegram, but then it stopped. The pump system and the level switch are still working. The ESP32 is still powered on because there's an LED that's visible. I used a translucent case so I can actually see the LED. But the pump's been cycling on and off, and there's no messages sent to Telegram. I've cycled power to the ESP32. That didn't help, so next week I need to do some troubleshooting. I have another new project. My wife wants to print out some cutesy signs for Christmas, and I had wanted to figure out how to use the CNC machine at the local makerspace anyway, so that priority just got bumped up a bit. I'm going to be working on that. I worked on it this week, and I'm going to be working on it next week. So Christmas signs is what I'm calling it. The software is called VCarve. So I used it at the makerspace. It picked some text, chose a font, made it larger. Actually, after I ran through the software trying to make a toolpath, and it only showed me a couple of little holes that it was going to drill instead of nice cursive fonts. So I figured out eventually that I had to make the font larger, or I had to make the text larger, so that all parts of the letters were 1/8 of an inch wide, which is the size of the bit I was using. So the toolpath didn't show the letters, only the middle of a few letters like D and G. So when I got it large enough, I exported the file G-code using the correct post processor, saved it on the local network at the makerspace, loaded that file into the laptop running the CNC machine, and it was visible and it loaded. I bolted down the scrap wood that I was using, and I homed the CNC machine and tested the G-code before I actually put it. Reset the 0 for the Z-axis and let it carve. And I also went through all the fonts available on VCarve for that computer and took pictures of them because my wife wants the signs that she wants to print out have some cursive font, some block fonts, and some more typical fonts. So I had to find out which ones were available. I've got another new project. My phone mount for my tripod broke, so I had to get my phone mounted on the tripod. And I downloaded a mount from Thingiverse, printed it, and it works okay, but not perfectly, but okay. And for adding projects to Trello backlog before pulling them out to work on them, I did not get that done successfully. I got things done and then added them to Trello. Actually, I didn't add them all to Trello. For next week, on the knitting machine, I am going to do a web page video or I guess I've got the web page video taken already. I need to post it to YouTube and include that in the README file for the knitting machine. On the Polaris project, I would like to again take some video of the website setup and post it to YouTube. Include that in the README. Post the version 0.2 code for the Polaris to the Wiki Factory website, and basically get things set up in my garage, get it cleaned out so that I can actually work on the Polaris. That's more than I'm going to get done next week, but that's on the backlog. For the pump runtime monitor, I have to troubleshoot and figure out why it's not logging. So I need to check the specs on the power supplies. Maybe I need to check my Wi-Fi coverage. And if that doesn't help, I'm going to add a command. There's the Telegram bot. I've only used the status portion. There's also a command processor portion so that I can send a message to the bot or to the ESP32 and have it respond. So like turn on a second LED or give me the time or show me a status or something like that, so that I can tell that it's working and not crashed, because I don't know why else it would not be working. I'm also going to try a different ESP32 and see if that stops working inside the house or outside. For my Christmas signs, I'm going to set up the first of the signs that my wife actually wants on a piece of scrap that's actually the right size. Select the fonts, work through the spacings, and do a test print. One of the Makerspace members suggested exporting to a DXF from OpenSCAD to preserve what the fonts look like, and use a high number of segments on the curve so it's smooth. And then I import it into VCarve while I'm at the Makerspace, output the G-code, and then run it on the CNC machine. For the phone mount, I want to modify one part, which is a top clamp, so it fits better on my phone. So I need to redraw that part with the V portion of the clamp a little bit further away from the support and a little bit deeper. And of course, tasks, I need to put them into the backlog before I actually do them. Blocks are the honey-do list, and the enabler. My part-time job is still not very busy, so I have a lot more time available than I did, let's say, in summer. That does it for this week. Next week, blocks. Okay, so now we're into retro. I got 12 points out of 8 targeted for my weekly plan. So I'm going to have to give myself a 10 out of 10. Team, I'm going to stick with 6 because Lauren is not able to connect easily. He's having some trouble with time zones, and basically I wouldn't stay up till 2 in the morning to go to this meeting either. Process improvement, reconnecting with the WIKISPEED mailing list has been there for quite a while, and we have not yet got anyone or contacted anyone who knows how to update the website to get us back to where people can sign up and stuff. And that is about it for this week. We will stop recording.